During supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. Jesus got up from the table and washed their feet and wiped them with a towel. Jesus got up and washed. Washed. Washing has taken on new importance these days. Wash. Wash your hands for 20 seconds, thoroughly. Wash. Wipe down surfaces often. Counters, tables, doorknobs, shopping carts, checkout lanes. Wash. Slow down the spread of the coronavirus. The importance of washing our hands is nothing new. We are taught to do so from an early age. Wash after you go to the restroom. Wash when you come in from playing outside. Wash before you cook. Wash before you eat. Employees must wash their hands before returning to work. Wash to stay healthy. Wash to not spread germs. And now washing has a new importance. Wash to not catch or spread the coronavirus. Washing has a new meaning in our lives. Jesus got up from the table and washed. When Jesus got up from the table and washed the disciples' feet, then washing also took on a new meaning. Feet were always dirty. Walking around in sandals on dusty roads made it so. It was the servant's role, the slave's role, to kneel down on the floor, the dirt floor, to wash feet. Those on the bottom of society's totem pole washed feet. But tonight, the master, the teacher, not the servant, gets up from the table, wraps a towel around himself, washes, and dries. And the disciples cannot believe it. Peter is incredulous. Yet Jesus, the Lord, becomes the servant and washes their feet. And washing takes on a new meaning. Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right. But I have set an example for you. And now that I have washed your feet, you ought to wash one another's feet. Washing was an act of service performed by the household slave. But here it is not the servants or the followers who serve, but the Lord, the Master. The Lord has served you. Service is an act of helping or doing work for someone. And the Lord has served you. Now go and serve as well. And as we do so, this service takes on a new meaning. The service is not merely helping or doing for another. The service becomes an act of love. Service becomes an act of love. What I have done to you, you are to now go and do. And what have I done? I've loved you. And I give you a new commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also should love one another. Love. Jesus got up from the table and washed, served, loved. And now we wash, not feet, but hands, as an act of service to ourselves and to others. And we take on this practice of physical distancing, not just as an act of self-preservation for our own health, but we also physically distance as an act of love. It is an act of love for our brothers and sisters, for our neighbors, for our healthcare professionals. Wash and distance, to serve and to love. Tonight is the first of the three holiest of days. It is the beginning of a 3-day-long church service. Tonight, with Maundy Thursday, with the stories of the Exodus, service, love, and communion all come together in one night, this year we abstain from communion as an act of love and service to one another, as we cannot, and for the sake of health, must not physically gather in community. Tomorrow is Good Friday, where our focus is on Jesus and the cross. We focus on the sacred mystery of Jesus' death as an act of love and service for the reconciliation of the world with God. Then comes Holy Saturday. It is the burial service for Jesus. Jesus is in the tomb. It is a time of absence. Absence feels more palatable during physical distancing. And on Sunday, Easter will come. Our celebration of resurrection and joy will still happen, even if differently this year. So I encourage you to enter into this sacred and mysterious story with us online, for it is the story of our salvation. Amen.